COVID-19 fund collection at 22.66 million ringgit as of yesterday. Malaysia COVID-19 cases cross 4,000 mark. Good evening, I'm Brendan Nepal and you're watching News on 2. The government is currently in the process of distributing free face masks to Malaysians nationwide. Now, Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, however, noted that the masks would be distributed to those who display flu-like symptoms as per recommendations by the Ministry of Health, MOH.
Seperti yang telah pun diumumkan oleh kerajaan, bahawa kerajaan akan mengagihkan secara percuma 4 keping topeng muka kepada setiap isi rumah di seluruh negara. Dan seperti yang disyorkan oleh Kementerian Kesihatan, hanya mereka yang bergejala sahaja yang perlu memakai topeng muka. 24.62 juta topeng muka sedang dalam proses pengedaran oleh APM yang diedarkan ke pusat ataupun MKN negeri-negeri, dan yang seterusnya akan diedarkan ke daerah-daerah melalui pusat jawatan kuasa pengurusan bencana daerah.
The senior minister added that the face mask would be flown via special charter by the Royal Malaysian Air Force RMAF to those in Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan this Friday. He said that in Peninsular Malaysia, the masks have already reached districts and would be distributed by frontline workers to those in need. He further noted that the face masks were not donated by any parties, but bought by the government for the people. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 fund has collected 22.66 million ringgit in cash donations as of yesterday. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said of the total, 5.68 million ringgit had been channeled to the National Welfare Foundation (YKN) for the first phase of the purchase of daily necessities to the affected people, especially those in the Enhanced Movement Control Order (MCO) EMCO areas. For the second phase, 9.06 million ringgit will be allocated and channeled to the Women, Family and Community Development Ministry and the YKN to improve the distribution of aid. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri also called on concerned Malaysians who have started other funds to assist those affected from COVID-19 to get the funds registered, as the Finance Minister has announced to give a special tax deduction for those who donate to the COVID-19 funds.
Pihak kerajaan mencadangkan supaya setiap tabung tersebut didaftarkan, kerana Kementerian Kewangan telah pun mengumumkan bahawa penyumbang-penyumbang akan diberikan insentif untuk pengecualian cukai.
Speaking during the daily press briefing, the senior minister also refuted allegations that there were no agreements reached between hotels, National Disaster Management Agency (NADMA) and Tourism Ministry on the rate fix for those undergoing quarantine at hotels. Instead, he reiterated that the government has already reached an agreement with the hotels, which have been gazetted as quarantine centres, to fix their rates at 150 ringgit per day, including accommodation and food. As such, the senior minister stressed that it shouldn't cause any problems, worries or confusion that those undergoing quarantine will be charged extra for their stay.
Hotel-hotel yang berdaftar sebagai pusat kuarantin dan diwartakan, kita telah pun mencapai persetujuan bahawa rate mereka, kadar sewa mereka beserta makanan dan minuman adalah RM150 sahaja. Ini telah pun dipersetujui. Jadi tidak timbul bahawa mereka akan di-charge ekstra dan sebagainya.
He also reiterated that the list has been gazetted and all the hotels will be used one by one. As of today, 112 hotels have been listed as the gazetted quarantine centres compared to 45 previously. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri added that as of 7th of April, a total of 127 quarantine centres, including 12 hotels, were in full operation. A total of 8,153 are currently undergoing compulsory quarantine process at all these places. The minister noted that yesterday, a total of 697 Malaysians had returned home from overseas. Of that, 679 had been quarantined, while 18 others were sent to hospitals since they had shown symptoms. On the COVID-19 quarantine centre in Johor Bahru, which has drawn complaints for its deplorable living conditions, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said it was just a transit place and all the people undergoing quarantine at the dorms have been shifted to hotels.
Mereka hanya sementara waktu kerana kehadiran yang ramai yang balik daripada Singapura melalui tambak Johor dan sebagainya yang tidak boleh kita rancangkan seperti yang balik daripada luar negara melalui pesawat. Melalui pesawat kita tahu berapa jumlahnya satu hari kerana kita ada flight schedule dan sebagainya. Serentak balik maka kita letakkan tempat transit seperti yang ditularkan semalam, itu merupakan tempat transit tetapi mereka telah pun dipindahkan ke hotel-hotel dan sebagainya.
Datuk Seri Ismail also noted that the government always wanted to give the best places to those undergoing quarantine. He stated there are 14 hotels in Johor itself, adding that quarantine centres in the states are usually suggested and decided by the state government. Another 166 positive COVID-19 patients have recovered and been discharged from hospital, bringing the total number of those discharged so far to 1,487 as of today. In his daily COVID-19 press conference, Health Director General Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah also reported a total of 156 new COVID-19 positive cases, which brought the total cumulative number of cases in Malaysia so far to 4,119. Also, 2 more COVID-19 deaths were reported today, which brings the total number of fatalities to 65 from the disease.
Kes kematian ke-64 iaitu kes 2,903 merupakan perempuan warga negara Malaysia berumur 58 tahun dan mempunyai latar belakang kencing manis dan darah tinggi. Kes kematian ke-65 iaitu kes 1906 merupakan lelaki warga negara Pakistan berumur 69 tahun dan mempunyai latar belakang penyakit kencing manis. Beliau telah mempunyai sejarah menghadiri perhimpunan di Sri Petaling.
Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham added that a total of 76 cases were being treated in the intensive care units or ICU, and 45 of those cases needed ventilators. The number of patients who managed to recover from the COVID-19 virus daily showed a very positive development lately. Now, this showed that the Ministry of Health and its staff have been doing a good job with proper planning to achieve their objective of getting rid of COVID-19.
Kita akan bincang soal kesihatan.
The special advisor to the Prime Minister on Public Health, Tan Sri Dr. Jamila Mahmud, said this while appearing as a panelist in a live Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry FB forum entitled Effects of MCO from the Scientific Eye.
Dan itu satu petanda bahawa health services ataupun servis kesihatan di Malaysia amat baik. Dan juga memberi harapan kepada orang ramai bahawa kes COVID ni boleh pulih. Tak semestinya kalau kita dapat COVID positif, itu satu masalah yang akan very serious, ya.
She, however, advised the preparedness for the new norm will be crucial to ensure Malaysians are ready in the post-movement control order MCO phase. Tan Sri Dr. Jamila said this is because the people would be confronted with a new environment compared to the one before the MCO was implemented. Sultan of Selangor Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah's tradition of attending the breaking of fast and Tarawih prayer events with the people at mosque in the state during Ramadan will not take place this year. The private secretary to the Sultan, Datuk Muhammad Munir Bani, said His Majesty had decided to do so after considering the people's safety following the spread of the COVID-19 outbreak. In a statement released today, Datuk Munir said it has been a tradition for the Sultan of Selangor during Ramadan month to hold the breaking of fast function with the people in all the districts in the state and present contributions from the Selangor Zakat Board, LZS, to the Asnaf and the hardcore poor. However, for the month of Ramadan this year, the Sultan of Selangor, with a heavy heart, has decided not to hold the breaking of fast and Tarawih prayer events with the people at mosque in the state. He said the Duit Raya donations and Zakat, TITHE, to Asnaf and the needy, which were usually presented during the events, would continue to be distributed. The private secretary to the Sultan added that Sultan Sharafuddin also advised Muslims to usher in Ramadan by concentrating on charity and religious activities, apart from being mindful and adhering to the latest directive issued by the government and health ministry. The Selangor state government will be collaborating with Grab Malaysia to enable the online sale of food from Ramadan bazaars in the state. The digital platform will be called E-Bazaar Ramadan Selangor Grab, and food can only be ordered online using the Grab app. In a release statement today, Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Shari said some 15 locations have been identified to set up central kitchens where food preparations will take place based on the guidelines set by the Health Ministry. The implementation of the program will be undertaken by Selangor Menteri Besar Incorporated, MBI, and the state's Microcredit Hijrah Selangor scheme, Hijrah. Selangor cancelled this year's Ramadan bazaars, and due to the cancellation, some 17,000 traders may be affected by the loss of income. The state has taken the initiative to create a new form of entrepreneur ecosystem that will still enable the public to purchase their bazaar food online while businesses thrive. Datuk Seri Amiruddin said this digital initiative partnership between the state and the private sector is necessary in these trying times. He added, this will be the new normal due to COVID-19 and hopes all parties will benefit from this digital initiative. Now, all physical Ramadan bazaars in the federal territories will be cancelled, with 3 alternatives to be offered to traders. Federal Territories Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the 3 concepts to sell food and drinks are drive-through, pack and pick, and e-hailing service. Briefing reporters today, he said the Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, and the other 2 local authorities in the federal territories would be returning licensing fees, deposits and service charges collected from bazaar traders and their sponsors.
Kementerian Wilayah Persekutuan ingin memaklumkan keputusan untuk bagi tahun 2020 ini bazar Ramadan seperti mana yang kita lihat pada tahun-tahun sebelum ini tidak akan diadakan sama sekali. Ini bermakna pada tahun ini sepanjang bulan Ramadan tidak akan ada sebarang perniagaan berkonsepkan bazar Ramadan.
2,673 bazaar traders had been registered to trade in 66 locations in KL under the City Hall, while in Putrajaya 300 traders had registered to trade in 1 site, while in Labuan 215 traders enlisted to trade in 3 bazaars, all of which had been cancelled. Meanwhile, the 3 options offered are for those breaking fast could opt to drive through restaurants and stalls. The sites proposed for such trade include Boulevard, Precinct 2 in Putrajaya, and Stadium Bukit Jalil in Kuala Lumpur. One can also pick their food online and have them packed before collecting it from areas designated by the local authorities. Tan Sri Anwar said the authorities were working out a shared platform with regard to this, where registered traders could join and payment would be made via e-wallet systems. He said the ministry would also work with e-hailing companies to deliver food, with some 20,000 delivery persons expected to be involved. Tan Sri Anwar said registration Registration for all three options would begin on the 13th of April and close on 19th of April. In other news, the leader of Vicky Naidu was among 10 men who were charged in the Ipoh Sessions Court today with becoming members of an organized criminal group. No plea was recorded when the charge was read in front of Judge Azman Abu Hassan. Besides VN V. Vigneswaran Naidu, 39, the others were K. Prabhu, 30, K. Ganesan, 50, SK Vinod, 28, M. Prabhakaran, 33, D. Intiran, 27, D. Ganesan, 30, P. Vel Murugan, 37, SK Anand Kumar, 28, and G. Kesavan, 32. All of them nodded after the charge was read out to them before Judge Azman Abu Hassan, but no plea was recorded. They were charged under Section 130V, subsection 1 of the Penal Code with becoming members of an organized criminal group in the district of Kinta between 2014 and last 13 March. They faced an imprisonment of between 5 and 20 years if found guilty. All of them were not allowed bail. The court said 30th of April for mention. The Sunita Kaur Jesse appeared for the prosecution.
Wash your hands. Social distancing. Spread the love.
Not virus.
Stay at work for you. You stay at home for us.
But first, former head of Strategic Alliance in Petronas Brand Department, Azan Shafriman Hanif, has been appointed as the new Sepang International Circuit, or SIC, Chief Executive Officer effective today. SIC, in a statement, said Azan Shafriman replaced Dato' Razlan Razali, who has been tasked to a full-time role as Petronas Sepang Racing Team Principal. Azan Shafriman, who is also a mechanical engineer by training, majoring in manufacturing and material science, thanked the SIC management on his new role, adding that he believes he can bring SIC to greater heights. Boasting 13 years of experience in his previous role, Azan Shafriman revealed that he aims to work with the team to tackle the business shortfall in the short term, strategizing the way forward amidst the current economic uncertainties. In the midterm, his main targets are to focus on operational excellence, governance and process control, with sustainability efforts and new partnerships being long-term focus areas. Now that concludes this evening's News on 2. A reminder of our top story: COVID-19 fund collection at 22.66 million ringgit as of yesterday. Here's a friendly reminder not to forget to wash your hands regularly, practice social distancing, and most of all, let's adhere to the movement control order and just stay at home. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, I'm Brenna Lepal. Stay tuned to TV2. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.